You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button.
Day 2 here from Radio Row or Digital Drive. I'll get it by Thursday. Here at the SEC Football Media Days, a heavy hitter day. It is Texas, Tennessee, Georgia, Auburn all taking their turns. And we fire out the chute here with Commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, Greg Sankey. Good enough to join us. How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you. It's good to be here.
Is it? You love coming here?
Love's a strong word.
It's such an interesting event.
I always look forward. It is. I always look forward to it. It's, the start of the next year. There's optimism. There's hope. Everybody's undefeated. You generate talk, and I think you generate connection. So there's a lot of good. Now,
that is very
when
true.
I have a week off around July 4th, and I'm spending every day thinking about what is it that I'm going to say to open up, I might not want that.
How much thought did you give to what you're going to say? Because normally there is some type of declarative statement, and I don't know that we necessarily got that this year.
To me, the declarative statement was there's a lot happening right now. There's a lot happening. And there have been, maybe post-Destin, as I was reading some commentary, why didn't they decide this? We went to some meetings in mid-June. Why didn't the college football decide on their format? Well, we've got settlement. We've got college football playoff. We're talking about NCAA decision-making, who should be involved in that. We're talking about NCAA basketball tournament. We're talking about different – there's a lot happening. I do think we need to put some things back on the shelf as soon as we can. And so I would observe that's a statement. And then within the context of kind of my roster of topics or issues – some of those I teased out, like, hey, we're 14 days into kind of a new world order, and if you're going to throw the new world order out of 14 days, that seems like pretty bad decision-making. We're going to have to work through the problems.
Yeah.
On the NCAA basketball tournament, plenty of talk. Hey, we had 14 teams in last year total. We had 10 on the women's side. We're doing pretty well. It can stay at 68. It can grow. I think we want the top 50 programs in because that competitive bandwidth, you get somebody healthy, whatever, you can make a run. You saw that. Arkansas is a really good example where you get a player healthy, make a run into the Sweet 16. But if we don't expand, okay, the tournament. The CFP, we have a format in place for 26. It's 12. People forget that. The discussion is, should that remain or should that change?
And that has to be a unanimous vote to change it?
No. It does not.
So this is just a majority
That's part
vote.
of the change. It is majority vote with the Big Ten and SEC agreeing together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll come back to that in a second. So you said the 4th of July is usually when you start preparing.
No, early June.
Early June. Okay.
Yeah, and
so when is your vacation time?
4th of July.
Okay, but you're spending the 4th of July sweating this?
Yeah,
so where did you
right.
go on vacation?
I have a 2-bedroom place on a lake in central New York where I grew up, where you're kind of away.
Okay.
And the weather's generally nice. So we go up there.
Your folks are still there?
My parents still live up there. So my mom's birthday was last Tuesday. She turned 80.
The 8th?
Yep, July 8th. You as well?
43?
Yeah.
Your mom's got a great birthday. We share it with Kevin Bacon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So and one of the Rockefellers.
I go back there and I'm away. There's a few people who know me or know what I do. I'll get recognized, but not nearly the extent of in the SEC footprint. I can kind of physically feel my pulse rate lowers, my blood pressure goes down. Gives you a place to think. And then, I have it's on a lake, and I have a little lakeside house where I put my laptop up, and Sunday I was grinding through all the fine details. The water's lapping along the shores.
Not bad.
Nice little point of or place to focus. Now,
did you?
I'd rather just sit there and read a novel, but I have a responsibility.
I understand that. Any marathons this year? Ironmans?
No.
Are you done with that?
I've been asked about running another marathon, which my mind is willing. I think the flesh is weak. I was supposed to run a 15K race Sunday, which I've done for many, many years, and just had to beg off because I needed to spend time on my remarks. I spent rather than drive an hour, run an hour and a half, drive an hour back. I took those 4.5 hours and invested in trying to say something intelligent.
Probably time well spent. Do you feel like you said something intelligent that has been well received? I'm always curious because you prepare these remarks. There's 1,000 of us here, and there's millions of people that watch and hear them, and then you wait for feedback. So what has been –
You want to know my habit is the phone is on airplane mode when I speak, and then I don't turn it on because I usually go right to some other thing. So I don't look at what's on social media nor the incoming from people. And then after an hour or so, I'll say, Herb, what's out there? Like the next time we connect, I'll ask Herb Vince. I'm like, Herb, so what's out there? The reaction was, I think, appropriate. I think the more in-depth research is as I walk around and people ask me follow-up questions. Okay, what's going on here? What's going on there? If they were asking me things I didn't address, then I would observe I kind of missed the moment. And I intentionally wanted to communicate views, right, without trying to, like, pull the pin on a hand grenade or something like that. There have been times where I've intentionally said things to be overly provocative. Here, like it was try to shape perspective. Oh, I'd have to go back and read things. Give me a minute, I'll think about it. Because, here's the twist. I spent all June thinking about this. I talked for 15 minutes, and then next year I'm like, what in the heck did I say last year?
I do that every day for 3 hours.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Right.
I don't know what I talked about. I don't know what I talked about yesterday or last segment. Greg Sankey's with us here for a few minutes. He's always good enough to hit everybody on Radio Row.
I'll give you one where I was talking about the NCAA. And I'm like, this thing has to change. Like, you can't go through the expectations we have and the variances and make decisions in a big room filled with people. And I kind of detailed that out a couple of years ago. And then my phone rang like, what do you mean by that? What do you want? I'm tired of going to a meeting room of 40 people. This was 2 years ago. And having the most important topic introduced for conversation, and no one responds. No one responds. It was an NAL conversation in a Division I council meeting. Like, we're saying that we have an effective decision-making system, an effective governance system. We have a presentation on NAL and the opportunity for questions there, and nobody engages.
Why did no one engage?
Well, I laid out because I lived it. I knew what was going on. And after like 2-3 minutes of dead air, I'm like, hey, we just spent 30, 45 minutes talking about committee nominations. And nobody's got a perspective on name, image, and likeness. How can that be? How can that be? This is the most important, impactful issue that we're facing. We have states passing laws, and nobody wants to engage here. And to me, that was one of those tipping point moments where, hey, this just doesn't work. We can kid ourselves that the system's fine, and you're going to see plenty of noise over the next month as more responsibility is allocated to the 4 conferences where the room shrinks a little bit. But
can you elaborate a little?
Yeah, the Division I board has a working group looking at decision-making where the notion is the 4 conferences have a greater level of authority. It's the autonomy that we've had for certain areas that spread over more areas. We shrink down the number of committees, the size of those committees, so you're not having meetings with big rooms filled with people. You've seen some messaging about changing an NCAA staff, some shrinking there. I think all of that is needed. And it speaks to, hey, you could go along as you are. It's kind of the pot with the frog in it. I don't know why they pick a frog to put in the pot. And then you start it in cold water, and eventually you raise the temperature.
What other animal would you put in the pot if not
I don't
a frog?
know. I mean, then Glenn Close
maybe because the frog is capable of hopping out. Like if you get a turtle in there, it's not getting out. If you get a fish, it's not getting out.
Well, there was a rabbit, right? And whatever that was, Glenn Close, Michael Douglas movie. What was that one?
I don't know. I'm not a movie guy. He
ignored.
asked me a movie reference, Rivs. She knows. There's no way I got that at all.
It's probably on social media.
I'm not getting it at all. What, the movie or this?
The movie. There was a rabbit involved. But anyway.
Glenn Close, Michael Douglas, rabbit. Do you know the movie? A movie with Michael Douglas and Glenn Close where there's a rabbit. Yeah, I don't get it. What football game are you going to go to week 1?
I'll be back here Saturday morning for actually Saturday at noon, Tennessee and Syracuse.
Okay.
And that's only a couple-hour drive up to Clemson, I've been told. LSU's up there. I usually don't go to away non-conference games.
Why?
just it starts a buzz. I went to Michigan last year with Texas, and that seemed to go fine. So then I can come back here and see Virginia Tech, South Carolina on Sunday. So probably hit those 3.
A buzz, huh?
Well, visiting commissioners here. Like Friday of that week, Auburn's at Baylor, and I'd love to go see the game, but I don't go to away non-conference games. When I was in the Southland, I saw McNeese at the Orange Bowl in Miami. So when I was Southland commissioner, every year I'd go to one of our big games. Northwestern State played at Oklahoma State. I went to that one year. Went to a couple others just because it was fun to go experience those things.
I remember you and I talked, this is years ago, that because your family's from New York, when LSU in 15 played at Syracuse and then the Carrier Dome, you went, I think you
my
went with
mom
your
and
parents.
dad went. I went to basketball a year and a half ago. Yeah,
they didn't ask for tickets.
Yeah, my parents, I'm like, hey, LSU's playing Syracuse, and are you guys interested in going? And they're like, yeah, we were up there during the summer. And I said, okay, we'll see. We'll take care of that. Like I said, I don't think I said directly, I will get you tickets.
Right.
I said, okay, I'll get on that or something like that, which to me was, I'm going to get you tickets. So I called, and I don't know, weekly or every other day call, and I'm like, hey, my mom says, I got the tickets. I'm like, you got tickets to what? Oh, the LSU game at Syracuse. She was in line the day the individual ticket sales, like in line before the window opened to buy the tickets. I'm like, I'm the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference. I could have made a phone call. So Eddie Nunez was there. The next fun part of the story was my parents are the only people dressed in purple in like the center Syracuse section. They had like seats on the 45-yard line. They're in there when the gates open. And I had said, hey, Eddie, if you just look around, I've told my parents to wear purple. They'll be fine. They'll be like at the 45, and he sends me a picture. There's nobody around. Like they've just opened this thing up. My mom and dad are there dressed in purple on the 45-yard line with tickets they bought.
Do you have the picture still? I want to see it.
I don't. I'd have to go. I'd have to go dig into the Eddie Nunez archives. But you can call Eddie and ask him, and he will verify that story. He was very kind to spend time with my parents.
I'll text Eddie and have him send me the picture.
I could have gotten you those tickets. So when LSU played up there in basketball, I'd not been at Carrier Dome in 25 or 30 years. And I just decided next time we have a team play. And I didn't bring Matt and his team any luck that night. There was a horrible snowstorm, lake effect snow that went right at Syracuse. So I didn't get there till halftime. I got them tickets to that one.
Living in Birmingham, you don't have to worry about lake effect snowstorms. That's definitely a positive. Greg, so when are we? I know you got to go. When are we going to have a schedule for next year?
Yep. Well, we put the schedule for this year out. There are steps to that. So December would be our schedule show. We've done that the last couple of years.
Okay.
To rave reviews, by the way. Like the number of people that consume our schedule introduction show is beyond comparison.
I believe it.
The decision has to come pretty soon. The decision on the format. So you're asking about the announcement of what format we'll use to fill out the schedule. Shot clock's running down.
I had to ask.
Yeah, that's a fair question.
You had to ask.
Slide one more in just to frustrate everybody else.
Everybody else? You mean
drive.
Your boss who is telling you where to be all the time, who's going to be mad at me and not let you sit here anymore? But I can throw one more if you want.
Yeah.
Why do the Big Ten and the SEC have to agree on playoff format?
Because in the old decision-making process, it required unanimity. So it wasn't just the Big Ten and the SEC. It was the Big Ten, SEC, and everybody else. And I said basically, we're not going to participate under those terms. Like literally, I said, this doesn't work under this structure. And so what I asked for was United Nations Security Council authority to veto bad decisions from our perspective, and then that didn't resonate. So they said, well, if you two don't agree, it can't go forward. But then you have to agree for it to go forward, and it can go forward. So I think that's actually a really rational basis for decision making. Now we have a responsibility to gather information to try to bring people together. So it's not like we can just run off and demand something. But at the end of the day, if we work through a process, then we get to ultimately establish a direction.
I can't wait to see who wins. Is it the 4-4-2-2-1-2-7 to all the numbers?
There's a Saturday Night Live skit called the Change Bank, which is my analogy for this discussion of numbers of teams. And it's Phil Hartman, if you remember him, and he introduces, it's like, if you come to the Change Bank, and there's a name for it, it's not like Manufacturers Hanover or something like that. If you bring us a 20, we'll give you 2 10s, or we'll give you a 10 and 2 5s, or we'll give you 4 5s. We're in the business of meeting our customers' needs.
Phil Hartman.
So eventually there's a question that says, well, how do you make money? And he looks at the camera and says, volume. Right? So it's just nonsensical. But it's my illustration of all these numbers that get thrown out are just like the Change Bank. We'll give you 4 5s for your 20. We'll give you 2 10s. We'll give you $21 bills, whatever it is. 16, 12, 14, this AQ, that AQ. That's the way I view the world.
Unless if it's 12 or 16.
Well, it's a Change Bank, man. Just make up a number. Go with it.
We'll just stick with that.
Mike Leach 64-team playoff model is out there someplace still.
I'm good with that, by the way.
Mike Leach's model, not Greg Sankey's.
I'm good with that, if we can do that. All right, thank you for the time.
Yep, thank you.
Always our pleasure.
Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.